Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Jama. Welcome to another edition of Talk to the Ummah. We're in the Islamic program where they come to you every Friday from AYV Television Channel 33. And then the program, this will give you the platform for the people, them Islamic scholars, them send their voices them out and make you within at the far end of the world able to hear Islam from this part of the country. And also give opportunity to people that way they propagate the religion for can sell out the message as used for being at the program. Today in the program, we can discuss one very important occasion in Islam, when Maulud Nabi, when the birthday of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And for with me in the studio, for can discuss it, we can learn a lot. If not, they will for celebrate or or what we for do, what they mean. We get a scholar at the studio who can tell we about that day. And not only the last person, but Dr. Ibrahim Saliu Kamaru, the chief imam for Timni Central Mosque, and also a very senior lecturer in MMC 80. Doc, say salam alaikum to people. That's the voice of Dr. Ibrahim Saliu Kamaru. And also again on the show we get we brother we come all the way from Insan Foundation, we're in the project called director of project. Well, Islamic development look one hinder small that the party and outside the operate, so we can enlighten we. And you said we got opportunity for listening what did happen over there. And not to any lesser person, but we brother Abdul Karim Bangura. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
All right, without wasting more time, let me go straight away to you, Doc. Maulud Nabi. People are used for Noah, we don't the area. First of all, this day they fall Thursday to we own time now, so we own calendar Thursday, when at the 29th of October. And in Islamic calendar, the 12th day of Rabi Alawal, we the fight again just next week. All right, Doc. So tell listeners then first, who than this holy prophet? Who than him?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Family, I want to say Salaam Alaikum once more. I just want to tell you, say a day beyond me, a day beyond anybody, a day beyond time frame. Much a man for talk about who is Muhammad. I want to tell you now for say the answer, a great lady of Islam, the woman where the prophet say when I take half of our religion from him, he summarized who was Muhammad. They ask you, tell me about your man. That's what they ask him. Tell us about your husband called Muhammad. The prophet give a very wonderful answer. He's so poetic. He say down to earth. You know the crutch you understand, he say al-khulquhu al-Quran. He say his character is the Quran. So therefore you cannot understand the Quran without understanding Muhammad. I never go able to understand Muhammad without understanding the Quran. So we can only understand Islam. We can only live as good Muslims. We can only talk about tolerance, peaceful coexistence. We can able to talk about all the values of peaceful coexistence if we understand Muhammad and his behavior towards the complete mortal man. So if you say, I tell you, who is Muhammad? Muhammad means the praised one. Everything we do, a praiseworthy. He is a model from all angles of life. Any problem we get, any target we get as individual, community, and nation, Muhammad get the answer because he passed through the Rubicon. He passed through that trial.
Okay. All right. Now, this blessed man in birthday now just next week, the 19th, so we on calendar, English calendar. Waiting at this birthday, Maulud Nabi. Waiting at Maulud Nabi.
Maulud Nabi generally means the birth of the prophet. Maulud means the birth day of Muhammad. It can be Maulud, your name.
Okay.
So everybody was born at a particular time. Okay. So everybody gets a day when they're born. Okay. And that day is not taken for granted. You not taken for granted. No. Because since God is not born at a particular, creator, not such a particular day, then he, not we. We, then born on a particular day, we left at a particular day. So now the time scope. But before something happened, we left, something happened. So therefore, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, no doubt about him. Whether person look him in terms of who no one do him, you get the right way for think that way. But Muhammad, he recognized the day when they born him. He said, I am born on I'm the first on a Monday because I was born on a Monday. That is something they joke at all. Nothing where go doubt. Prophet said, I the first on a Monday because I was born on a Monday. If the source of Islam, one of it is authentic hadith, then you have to give me chance. The Prophet recognized in day, but you don't impose upon anybody because Prophet didn't impose anything. Islam didn't impose anything for anybody. La ikra fi dini. And if you say, well, the Sahaba did not celebrate the life of the Prophet, then you don't understand actually the challenges the disciples face. If anybody will study the challenges of Abu Bakr Siddiq in 2-year period, go talk about celebration. Anybody will understand where Sayyidina Umar take place and come for try expand the Islamic empire, talk about celebration. It's a time of moving Islam to other different civilizations. Anybody will the challenges of Sayyidina Usman ibn Affan, go talk about celebration. Anybody will talk about Ali Ibn Abu Talib, they attempt to return to the Abbasid period, go talk about celebration. Because Islam was establishing a new civilization. A civilization counter to the civilization we meet. The Roman civilization and the Persian civilization. That's what the challenge of Muhammad. Muhammad just noticed them. Islam has come. And it come for dominate. It's going to dominate. Again, will enter the nook and crannies of the world despite the resistance. And the Sahaba knew the resistance to them face for trying Islam reach in West Africa. By the time of Sayyidina Umar, by the time of Sayyidina Usman, Islam reached in West Africa. Anybody who know Ufe with the history of the development of the world, he keep very, very careful about celebrating and not celebrating.
All right, that of course, thank you for bringing me to the next question. This day, Thursday, we for celebrate them, if we celebrate them, how for celebrate them?
Yeah. There are many ways you can celebrate them. If you don't want to appreciate that day, it's not the day we are talking about. We are talking about the values. Where Muhammad being. Are they necessary? People don't know Muhammad. How can they understand the Quran? People are insulting the Prophet. What do we do to explain Muhammad as a tolerant man? Muslims are intolerant today. Many Muslims are intolerant to the Christians. The Prophet accommodated the Christians inside the mosque for over 2 months. You say, no, the mosque is for the Muslims. Who told you? When the Quran say, وَأَنَا الْمَسَاجِدِ لِلَّهِ, Muhammad was so tolerant that somebody come inside the mosque, he went. He didn't allow anybody for beaten. Today, if you post, no more look here, no more bad here, no more like the mosque, no more, or they beaten. Muhammad, any enemies there, I deal with them. Muhammad and peaceful coexisted. These are the values we need. We need this tablet here. Today, more than ever before, Muhammad and I succeed. They persecute him. When he succeeded, did he revenge? No. He didn't revenge. The worst enemy of the Prophet, we fought against our uncle. He said, you today, you Abu Sufyan, you are free. We're not fully free. Did he destroy anybody? We see Muslim them fighting the brother Muslim them. We see people them fighting each other. Muhammad and success. So there are so many dimensions about Muhammad. There are people who want to talk about it. If you still talk about Muhammad throughout your life, enough. Wallahi, because Muhammad's life is an ocean. It's an ocean of ideas relevant today, relevant tomorrow. Muhammad, and how for they would to pick in them. Muhammad, how the day would to wave them. Muhammad, and how the day would to neighbor them. Muhammad, how the day would to non-Muslim them. Muhammad, the ethics of privacy. Muhammad, the issue of human rights. Each one of them is a lecture. If we say, oh, shape that one day for talk to picking there. How the picking there for they would take papa there? Do children know their rights and limitation? Do women know there are also limitations to their husband and their rights? Do people know their rights and responsibilities? No, the mosque is too small. It should have been a time for us to move into schools. For telling picking them, what is the essence of education? The president come, he said education a pauper. Is it new? No. Why we stand behind a pauper? Because he is echoing what the Prophet said. He said, "Talab al-ilmu farid ala kulli muslim wal muslimati." Then you say what happened? Then how the Prophet talk about compulsory education? What he make it farid? What's the difference between pauper and also farid? If you don't get education, you know teach picking what Islam say. He say you are punishable in the hereafter. So you sit down, you know land. Now case for Yom Al-Qiyamah. Not to you it's your police or holding you. Case Yom Al-Qiyamah. If we bring this way, everybody wants to see you picking for school. We want to go land. You see now? So there, Muhammad, we want to talk about Muhammad as values. As opposed what he met yesterday. The prophet met a civilization wherein no one questions. Muhammad was born 570 years after Jesus Christ disappeared from the scene. From the Christian them, after he died. For the Muslim them, Allah save him. 570 years, they call it the darkest period in human history. Do you know history? The darkest period of human history is the period before the birth of Muhammad. Not only in Arabia, in everywhere in the world. The world was fighting, two superpowers are fighting. Now what are them? The Persian Empire and the Roman Empire. These were two superpowers. They were ruthless. They were wicked. They are inhuman. Muhammad came into the scene. You know, anybody who asks questions will be killed. John Hus was burnt alive simply because he contradicts the people of the day when they said out of Islam. When Quran say come, he said when I ask questions, it's alu zikr. You don't get excuse for being illiterate. You don't get excuse for land. Ask the knowledgeable if you don't know. So inside the Quran, you can make beaucoup questions. Yes, alunaka. And they can ask you. And in Mahidi, if woman they in period, how for the ucham? Yes, alunaka. And they can ask you. And in Ruhu, about the life. What are the mystery about life? Yes, alunaka. And they can ask you. And in Jibali, about the mountain. Yes, alunaka. And they ask you. And so many things are in the Tama. How to deal with the orphans. How to live with them. Yes, alunaka. And they can ask you about Yom Al-Qiyamah. The life of Muhammad is a life of answering questions to the direction of Allah. People want to know who is this man called Muhammad. How is it going to be a solution in politics? How it going to be a solution inside our home? How it going to be a solution in our relationship? How it relationship in our own culture, in methodologies, in so many things? He said no. So can't we take this? Today we talk about child day. Islam, we know the word about the issue day. Can we take advantage of that and talk what Islam prophet talk about the child? You talk about military day. Muhammad was a soldier, but is he like the soldiers of today? Muhammad was a soldier. He was a brigadier, but not like the brigadier where they sit on the office, the command. He was there in the war front, but how did he deal with people them? How did he deal with the ethics of war? We see what did happen at the world today. With the soldiers want to hear about Muhammad as a soldier. The policeman want to see Muhammad as a policeman. What the prophet talk about correct policing. The Islamic standing for Islam has a network of ideas. The police want to know, was Muhammad is a police? Yes, Muhammad is a police. He talk about anybody who help him for cross the road, any person who help him for peaceful, for between, for this dispute. He talk about people them have for corp crimes. Them medicine all that they done, they die. An opportunity come, they give one whole holiday. He say, no, you don't want to. Can't you make use of it? If you don't even make use of it, can't you go and visit your people in the village? Can't you have a whole conference the whole year? We the Muslims don't get even a conference meeting. Yeah. We need to sit down for think what for do. Leave the issue of the birth of the prophet. Can we all just come together and see what are we heading for? Today we talk about rape. Have we ever sat down with the Muslims and see how would they stop rape? When 70% when they talk about rape, when they make the say majority of Muslims say, how do we say it's wrong? They talk about issue of corruption. What the prophet talk about corruption, political corruption. What the people talk about tribalism. So you have this material that even 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, a day is not enough. So that day, to me, I consider for say, the day of world sensitization. So if you know what celebrate time, celebration don't mean for dance. Celebration for clap. It don't mean for say, now a celebration for sit down and think, who is this man? Was he a solution yesterday? If it's a solution, can it be a solution today? People want to hear from the scholars. What a wonderful religion. If you don't want to do that one, you don't help people there, you can sit down, be tolerant with me. Because prophet was even tolerant to the non-Muslims.
Yeah, and Doc, before we come to brother, and one thing where people and they ask, somebody just send me the message, this, when we introduce the topic yesterday, now we discussed today, the person wants me to ask you now the question. We see years back, people in the day for the prophecy by day and they go on the water side and go was, then say was the bad law. Because you see some of the old band, they march from point A to point B, they go and sing Anashid in a street, Talil in a street. Some say no, not to that. When I just the contradictions and that what they point out now. Some say no. Some other sects, religious sects in Islam believe say no. Now forget Quran all day you pray all day, then they better than the other. How exactly, specifically, if you advise we now we get for observe this
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Family
Thursday?
Papa them, we have been in the field of dawah for 40 years. First of all, Lord will know say every generation, every time will be judged by their standards. Allah said, Tilka ummatan qad khalat. The people them, how they do things yesterday, they will be judged by Allah. If they made a mistake, you will not be punished. If they get an achievement, you will not be rewarded. So you have no problem. So we look at the past. We look at the mistakes and see how we can correct them. Like unlike colonialism, will not cause any clash. Now let's look about the people much passing in those days. During the time of Allah, Jesus to say, do you know what was happening? It was the time of colonialism. Colonialisms were knocking them, banned them. We are in the time of stifle Islam. The world that tempted the world, where in the colonial masters them, then oppress Islam globally. So you have movement like the Islamic Brotherhood in Egypt, for example, where they try protest Islam. For say we day. That was one way no for so the day. So they try for do that one day. Yes, we know say along the way of life, there were mistakes. Quite all right. Like what be happen in our country, where people they come out, they go a dance, shake away sayanda, we know say it is wrong, quite all right. But in the process of correction, you give time, because there are also ethics of correcting the past. You will know say this issue of Mawlid where is so was also one of the strategies which Islam lay in foundation as a religion. You can't dismiss it. Just as you talk about Nabi Soto, just as you talk about Baskeda, just as you talk about Mada. There are so many things. Our people will sit down in those days inside the mosque. What were they doing? They were bringing the people them, talking to them. Allahumma ya Rabbi salli ala Muhammadin. What are they saying? Salli ala Muhammad. Okay. In this process, this was the time where in the Fullahs, this was the time where the Madingos, this was the time where the Sosos, this were Sufis. 95% of people who broke Islam were Sufis. So they use the singing technique and they meet the people, the biggest group where they meet for bring Islam as Sierra Leone, were the Timinis. No group, no day, where Soso Madingo and they call them, they succeed like the Timini group. The Timinis also were a singing group. Sorry, I know they hurt you. But our people, they had a very strong culture called the Poro. The Poro society was a singing group. They make the singing groups quite all right. But the Quran, the Islam is so beautiful that even the way the melody, the tajweed way they get is so musical without having the weakness of music. That people they move. This is how the people they went deep and traditional society started coming in the time the day. They come gradually, small. And it was from these institutions that this small get today. 80% of them were built by those people, by our people. They use strategies according to the situation. When you want for judge somebody, judge within the context. No judge within your own context. What our people did, I swear to Almighty Allah, you will never be able to do in your life. They wrote some of their Quran there. They look at the Quran, they write up by their own hands. In those days, they moved from town to town, talking to people there. Them mosques, them big mosques, they want to see upline, na Kenema, na Bo. They were not built by Saudi Arabia. You know, it's about 20 years ago, now Saudi Arabia is big for help us here. They were built by the people. Allahumma ya Rabbi salli ala Muhammadin. If you can get pada other, the people read, Fabiya Allah, Rabikuma, Tokazibanin. This was singing. That time they don't sabi the meaning better. But I'm telling you, they have iman. Our people, they get iman. They cry for some of them. They give way for them to the imam there. That's why we have a lot of full chiefs in Timilan as chiefs. The French get a beaucoup of people inside the Timilan Potrok and Kambia as chiefs them because the Timini people we are giving them wives them. They will give them we are feel top the lower. The Timini people like singing. That's why it be. That's why a bigger part of the institutions of Islam in this country are controlled by the Timini people them. So what they say in a nutshell is that these people should be appreciated. Now, if you care for Duham, why wouldn't you take to conferences? Why don't meet to school? They will pick in there, tell them how to behave to the elders. Today, our children will begin the course will lead us there. Is this correct? What Islam say? One day, prophet say, he says, some of una get for course una daddy them, mama them. It was shocking for those days. The possibility is zero. That is, you mean somebody question papa with mama? Now he say yes. If somebody calls other person papa, he calls other person mama, then papa and mama don't cause. This one great statement can solve the problem of people insulting leaders. This issue of people they becoming tyrants. when you come to the story, people want to know the story of Joseph, about family cohesion. They want to know about tyranny, the Pharaoh. They want to know so many things there, and how for a manage economy, how for get a banking without interest. Too many ideas. The time in the mosque is so small that if you have a day like this, like other days, why don't we utilize it? He say no. So if you cannot do it, it's simple. Respect me for what I stand for. I respect for what you stand for. But I appreciate for say, you know one thing they bring doctrine inside, quite all right. But Islam is about tolerance. If Islam allow us to be tolerant even to the non-Muslim, why don't be tolerant with me? Why don't you appreciate my own thinking? Or do you want me to think like you? No. If we are not, if we not feel by appearance, we cannot be similar in same thinking. And no two people think the same. Appreciate my thinking, then there will be unity. Every type of Islam is about unity. We need even to talk about unity. So much unity in Sierra Leone. So much tribalism inside even the mosque. So much tribalism in our educational institution. So, and this is eating us. We are not even models for our people name. How do we help ourselves? How do the position of the imams in this country is terrible? What do we do? So this kind of here could be a whole conference. If you have no conference meeting at the whole country, we can't take this day and use it. I mean the utility of this day in different dimensions.
Doc, I want to rest small because whatever thing you say, people, a lot of people they learn from, and we have to say, I want to rest small. I just can't do it. What Abdul, you when I get issue relating to Islamic development and that parts of the country when they operate, we go show we viewers them a clip of the development and operations there. Then after that, I go engage you, let you tell me more about this project and witness some of the hindrances there. We'll go now to the operators them and let them show you the video clip. Then when we come back, we'll continue with you. It's that now some of the operations of Insane Foundation where they operate across the country. We were that they are so now the director of project. You will tell me more about this foundation then witness some of the projects you want the one, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. Tell una plenty thank you for providing this facility for let we go talk to we brothers and sisters Sierra Leoneans on issues of Islam and the challenges that we will face along this way. Insan Foundation, it don't form over 2.5 decades ago. Now people way na Sierra Leoneans, some de na Guineans, and West African, where they in America, they sit down, they see the need for help Islam in Sierra Leone and the sub-region. Actually, the head of the organization na Sierra Leonean. So now that most of the things them na ya more, they're stronger. But they na Guinea, they na Nigeria, they na Liberia, they na beaucoup in West Africa, and they do beaucoup things in Islam for develop humanity, not only Islam. Insan Foundation, you don't put hand by education, you don't put hand by housing, you don't put hand by agriculture, and even on outbreaks, Insan Foundation intervene. They get orphanages all over the country, Freetown, Bo, the North, Putloko, Mange, 91, all over the country, Insan Foundation getting orphanages. We not picking them, we don't lose them people them as the name go, and they not get nobody for help them. You will be surprised for no seeing them picking until they did at universities under the sponsorship of this very Insan I'm talking about. They not stop there at the medical area. They go to clinic, hospital, and Insan Foundation they take some critical health issues them. Where sometimes they in Sierra Leone, they know will address them. Then they send them out of the country. They don't do them, send one na Morocco, dialysis, kidney problem. They don't do one back for na tumor, but yeah, they not be no. They say na toothache. Your tumor don't grow na the teeth. They say na toothache. Then we extract them. If you see the boy in face, you know we like for see him. But with the intervention of Insan Foundation, as I speak now, that boy in Nigeria now, in good health, and he say no one can Sierra Leone again. See one lanyard now. This na beaucoup one of beaucoup things the way Insan they do. In the area of agriculture, then they provide seeds for farmers, then they provide machinery, do big work for people them. At the end of the day, only 40% as a payback for the thing will continue. All 60% of the harvest, they go to the farmer. Insan Foundation, it gets schools them all over this country. Freetown, Bo, Kenema, Mange, Lunge. And guess what? Insan Foundation, I first start free education before we able presidents can make free education there. Because there are some villages, my brother, if you know, say, let people go to school free, they're not afford, they're not able to afford them. We get schools them upline before this free education, what will they run free? And what will say free? From uniform to everything. And currently, we get some schools that will even the supporter with feeding. So Insan Foundation don't do a very big work in this country, and they continue to do. Insan Foundation, because of this work where they do, it be things say, if we get a piece of land, where some of in project it was centralized in Atoya, not sure of centralized, but this is at the headquarters. It will be a model for other places in the country. So he buys 110-acre land over 20 years ago, somewhere in Mayankine, the hills of Kalbatam. Yes. And at that place now, don't they develop? You go there, they meet a school, they meet a mosque, they meet a well, we don't dig well in there. Everything they do. This BN10, they don't give me money even for what thing? For build a hospital we no more Sierra Leone, no go left here for go Ghana for medical attention. It for be affordable. No more Sierra Leone. If that hospital is done, we need to go again na China, neither India, because not every Sierra Leone will afford this. Now in modern hospital, not that we don't get the experts then, yeah, then they, but the machinery no they, and people in the outside that were ready for support insan, for make a standard hospital na Sierra Leone. Now this very land there where it is na Mayankine, and this would this technical land would, as I tell you, we don't start for the school on there for over 15, 10, 20 years now. But people them where the city don't choke, all man they go court. They go court. As Muslims, we will not take the law in our hands. We go to the police. We report the matter. The police link we with lands for expert opinion. Lands take up the matter, then go see. We show them the we land plan and everything. No documents, no be compared to the one they allege say and then get the land. No document no day. So then go demarcate and mark some XX. But still they in the out people they go. And you know the law of lands say when there is a dispute, when a land is contested, they put a halt to the project. But this now we challenge right now. Now, that modern hospital where in some foundation, they support you for being a Sierra Leone and work down with a halt. This is a big challenge you get.
Because the ministry don't sort of put a hold to all projects, yes, from both parties.
From all parties.
So, but the question is, when I know we don't secure this place, like Miami, pick a perimeter fence, like for secure the way, we're not going to intrude for can build.
Of course, we will not be secure with a fence, but we secure with pillars, baking them.
And people then cross the pillar
then
line.
Cross the pillars, then can build.
The first project when somebody can start for dig foundation, you know, saying I will push on this. When I don't make a stop to the first one, and that make more kind inside.
They make a stop. We take the same procedure. We go to the police. Now, management changeover. They do continue for do this thing for we take cut the land. And we as Muslims, I say, people didn't take other opinion, but we as Muslims, no, we go to the police, we go to lands. So we still wait on lands, and we able government for help we project not stock up. No. This is for everybody in Sierra Leone.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Before I can to Doc, one question where I will ask you before I can to Doc. Our plan is for establish that hospital, and we plenty people go benefit from it. What are the status now? The outside the issue there now so far.
Well, the issue, as I tell you, lands they don't go with the document. They don't go plot the land, plot with the GPS. They don't see according to GPS this is the land. So they don't go. They don't mark some places them.
X.
And, yes.
Which of the places that the intruders them?
The intruders, yes. Okay. And they don't invite them. Okay. But the problem that we get, where sponsor give you money, he want for the city will go.
The work they go on, so we'll give more
every day. Yes.
Okay.
You see, so that now we challenge. If you take 1 week, 1 month, and not to win no more than the sponsor, as I said, in the sub-region. So if, like say, they don't send this same facility to Guinea, and Guinea don't go through, we stand still, there are all chances that they withdraw the funds.
Sure.
You see, and it would be bad for me. You two now we will not able afford to go Ghana. You see, and even if you need no for now you go Ghana, you get an affordable medical attention.
Okay.
You see.
All right, so we'll come back to you, and we do believe, we hope, say authorities, like the First Lady, always. We proud say always they follow we show, because we don't get them from first hand. Say always they follow we show, and we don't make and cry them for mosque them way water damage and salon where a give donation they say when we acknowledge say I listen this show na AYV and I make I can donate this thing. So we hope respectable people like them when they listen now, the ministers when they listen, and they will come and save Sierra Leone this loss of withdrawing that project from Sierra Leone. But we'll come back to you, Doc. We still do on Thursday celebrate. Thursdays, Maulud Nabi, birthday of the Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. People that they watch now, well, we all, including people that they watch now, we rely on you now, a doctor, also a good, very good scholar. We don't preach to, they listen. Some of we, maybe confess, we listen to certain things that we talk, make we change that attitude. We can't stand out there. We don't prepare, say Thursday, and so I want to celebrate this day. Specifically, maybe name things in way for celebrate this day on Thursday. What's in me for do now, me don't the world listen.
Interesting in many ways, Islam is a way of life. You can go meet your people offline.
Okay.
You have not been able, you have not been opportune throughout the year for going to meet people. Islam is about meeting your people. Problem day between your family, you can go there. You take advantage of the holiday. You can go there. The prophet said, would I move for coaching people every mass way mass na blessing? You can go, there's no problem. You see now, when people when travel distance from Guinea Conakry, for example, you touch one, you move, take care for cafe in family. Families are dying. The prophet says, Sallu arhamakum wa bi salam. It's about family cohesion. Integrate with your family, even with Eladu. Now you can go and meet your people. You can take advantage. We can talk about family cohesion. We can get seminars on this about society. We have contemporary problems them. Everywhere in the world, we can talk about so many things people can write. You can talk about the global problem again in the world today. The prophet said, we all are dunya na one family. Ya ayyuhannas inna khalaqnakum min dhakari wa unsa wa ja'alnakum shu'uban wa qaba'ila lita'arafu. People want to hear this message. The message of global cohesion that I created una all from one daddy, one mama. If you understand this philosophy, which is also true, a meeting point with Christianity, that you come on Baba Adama and Mahawa, which means the Chinese man, the Indian man, they will not fight each other. If you had understood it, there will not be colonialism. America no grab place, you go pounce on Iraq. Iraq no grab place, you go pounce on Sierra Leone. Liberia no grab. If you know we are all brothers, that's not one. People want to hear the message about global peace. Can't we take advantage and tell the people that day? If there is no global peace, you get answer for Amal Qiyamah. What we talk about national peace? Did we apply? Did anybody apply to be a member of a country? Allah said, I made you into nations. Did you apply to be a Sierra Leonean? No, God gave ask you, what you make this country tell the kite also? It means that one person go ask, what you make it talk, what you talk, so what you make it do to where Palava come? We all give answer on Qiyamah. If we send a kind message here, it no go help. Because the human being, now for talk to his mind. The attitude of human being is a result, it's a state of mind. You don't coerce him to change. You persuade him to change. Muhammad did the persuasion. He didn't coerce me. Persuade me. So we can take to persuade people about peace. He said, well, Qaba'ila, he make we into tribes. Nobody applied to be a member of a tribe. You woke up and discover you are Timini, you are Fula. But Allah say, all that one is important, the most important, the whole afraid God. In akramakum in the latqakum. The criteria for superiority is not because you are born in Arabia. It's not because you are born in Qatar. It's not because you are born in a Fula tribe or many tribe. It's because you are piety. What's in a piety? Piety is a state of mind which you don't see. You feel say the beard we put in a corona in Islam? No. There are people in India, they have longer beards. More beards, they call it a Sikh religion. Is it the turban? No. There are people with turban. So Prophet dismissed the issue of appearance. He said, go and look at your physical appearance. You need to look at the clothes you wear. You need to look at the taqwa. Yeah, the faith. Taqwa, you get lots of benefits. All this corruption we talk about in the country, now fear God or not fear God.
Wallahi.
Wallahi Rabbul Kaaba. If we won't fear God, we no go chief, we no go lie, we no go kongosa. This country will be a paradise. These people need this medicine. Muhammad provided it. He provided it. That people became a civilization. Islam is a unique civilization. It's called a sunnatic civilization. It's not about beers. It's not about fasting on the Monday and Thursday normal. It's not about the 13, the 14, the 15. It's about behavior. Everything about education is about good behavior. Everything is about khuluq. People want to hear this medicine. If you don't get chance, can't you help your own family?
Why not?
Your family. It's disunited. Go and say to this spiritual family, today every family is in crisis. Before the corona, the Christians of Nigeria, of Ghana, they call the Jesus Christ Church of Latter Day Saints. They invited me to present a paper on family stability. Because when the family is unstable, the community is unstable, the nation is unstable, the world is unstable. So the medicine, you have medicine to give that you did not apply. Your father not only apply this while they born you. You be kafir, not be kafir, na papa. You mama, na you mama. What is the limitation? You brother. There's so much about marriage stability. How the woman for live with a man? How the woman for live with a man? How for they to picking them? Human rights them. People want to hear these things. They say they give one holiday. They just make it no sponsor. Everybody go participate in the station. People they sit down, they listen. That one day could change so many things. Them we go cry. If we repent, Allah will let you. All the thing battle the way they among the country. Allah say, "Na ain't no lack. If we do we dey block. We already develop. If we do what you go want, we go succeed." People want to hear what did Muhammad say. How did Muhammad act? How he did with a wife there? How he did with a party there? How he did with a non-Muslim? How he did with a neighbor there? Muhammad and tolerance. Muhammad and war. How he be study with people who fed up. Muhammad and forgiveness. Muhammad and reconciliation. These people want this package. Now for that the Quran not come for Muslims. I want to know this today. Allah not send the Muslim for humanity. He say he sent the Quran Hudan linasi as a guidance for humanity. God Almighty Allah is not the God of a particular group. They call a Rabbul Alam, the Lord of the universe. If no one other person for exist, come on here. Allah says, "Well, Allah promised Quran for everybody for there." You always say you come for there, then you for come on and go to somehow, or I not going to paradise. The Prophet Rahmat al-Alamin, he's a universal man. This Muslim, to be a Muslim is to be a universal man. You to be accommodative, to be open, to be tolerant. The disease plaguing the Muslim community. How do we help? Helping each other. Today there is corona. They say the solution to corona is the issue of washing hands. We can take advantage to fight corona this particular day. Talk about it. The government is correct. God is correct. They say, "Lord, distance yourself." Is this composite pass with charm yourself? No. It is sooner. You can drop sooner for the fardu. The fardu is saving life. It's about saving life. Saving life a day above for come closer. There is no way they say if you not jam your company, shoulder to shoulder, your prayer will not be accepted. So where is your problem? We have to re-educate our people. People want to know how they behave. Is it correct? With the way how they deal with the welfare. About breastfeeding. Quran said, "Forgive Pekin Bobby na paupa." It is the first, the child's right. Now, in child right, even in the place where you get dispute, people want to hear this about protecting the children. What Islam talk about love for the children? What you talk about punishment for the children? We have a volume. We have a literature of material. Now, for our man say, the Muslims have very good materials, but they have very bad tailors.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allah.
Indeed. Right. Yeah. Look, this one's so interesting. We get very good material.
But we get very bad tailors.
Very bad tailor for
material.
prepare the material. You know, one very good tailor, we don't tailor we out to for this small load on Thursday. And our viewers, they know say we at AYV as usual get for celebrate the day doing Islamic activities on TV on that day. We might get checks them for come on board on that day. We might get, but we will tell them how they celebrate that day on Thursday. And also, if they're listening, we now following our Facebook page, Talk to the Umah, and you will continue, you will watch the show through that. Doc, somebody will say, like you say, we get bad tailor. Una na the tailor man, the material they inside una already. Like you now want somebody with material they inside you. But maybe now the tailor man they put them out, now the problem. Somebody will say the scholars, you know, they actually like what you talk so now. They don't use them now women or load rich. Now for march from continuity to your building, we get big politicians and go talk. They say those everybody. They don't say nothing but Islam, nothing Islamic. They need discuss at that forum. They do that and several of them. They call me and I talk to the woman. When I go cover this program, they march from stadium, from continuity to your building. Now you will get minister who they can't talk. MPU, they can't talk, councillor, they can't talk, all the things they talking about politics. Nothing but the way they talk, so Islam saying that this, the prophet now this person. So you advise to people in how they celebrate that kind. I know saying they call me soon. Don't say Monday, the letter, the cards or say, they can forget about and continue for go, you building. That then thing do the experience. You advise to the one that we don't plan for celebrate Maulud this month, this week or so, next week, this way. What will be your advice to them? You know what specifically therefore pick on that day?
Why the prophet want change? The prophet met two civilizations. I go there back. You get what they call the Persian civilization. When they get more than Iraq and Iran, then a civilization. Then they don't get former prophet them. Now for I get a lot of religions them around that area. You get the Zoroastrianism, you get the Buddhism, you get this Jahonism. Because there were noble people them who don't know whether they're prophetable. They get scriptures there where even confirm about the coming of Muhammad. They did it. But they wanted the superstition don't grow into them that, you know, they say again the religion again. That time day. And Muhammad also made the Holy Roman Empire. If you want to know how the world day before the coming of Muhammad, please read the work of Shakespeare. No. Shakespeare wrote about the world in Rome. Rome before Islam came. Just look at Julius Caesar. See the superstition, the age of the witches, Macbeth, the age of the witches, the age of superstition. So it was a questioning period. All the book of them, how women they treat them. Just look Roman films them. You see brutality. Muhammad brought a whole revolution, but it's not a revolution of fighting. It's a revolution of changing people, talking to people them. So let us take advantage of this day or talk to people there. If you cannot go there, sit down in your home. At least you have a day for talk to you picking there. Because everybody has an answer to give you on Qiyamah about what you make your family not cover the head, what you make the left the bobby at it, what you make the waist day at it, what you make no lamb. Some parents do not even know what it means to be parents. Now for that they call it for say parents, pay the rent. The children do not oblige, nothing obliged. Your work go beyond feeding, eating, sit down there. So what you want in a situation where if you're not for this corona, look, it's not a one-day business. It's an issue for you don't plan. Don't be honest. We for change your community. A community is a community where 70%. In this 70%, they don't understand Islam. This country will never make headlines. Don't underestimate a population of 70%. 70% means the development of the nation day by day. They are holding Sierra Leone in ransom. The scholars are holding Sierra Leone into ransom. If you don't understand, even the issue of health, how for passer, they know they cooperate with the government until we correct. They know you will try for stop the government until we bad. Well, that's a problem. Now the problem is. So now for that, so that day, it's not the issue of people marching. So if they march, they be calling us scatter, let be cohesion. Oh, you can understandable, but there be seminars. Then they go to the school them for talk to people. What is the purpose of education? Is it about getting money? Who is a good teacher? We still get a fair result. We don't have teachers. We have teachers. What do we do? Who is a good teacher? What Islam talk? Muhammad was a teacher. Jesus was a teacher. Prophet said, "Anna mu'allimul akbar." I am the greatest of teachers. The methodology of a good teacher. Muhammad a case study. People they have to write papers. Let us write papers and begin for presenting them in an intellectual way. Help you. What do we do? We colleges, Bakurka College, Mahad Ali, Mahad that. Don't you need for come together and make a curriculum? We begin to go para school here. They take it 4 years. They come out. The government is not the goes in the papers. How do we make these people who graduate from this Arabic school viable, useful in the economy? If they were, I would say, anybody who graduates from them, he has English language. They automatically will get people who can speak Arabic and English. Automatically, they draw people there from outside. We want to be international. We need international airport. If we don't have people translating from Arabic to English, English to Arabic, who shall they go?
Nowhere.
So, please, all the colleges, please don't say, go and sit down and reflect on your own problem. Go and sit down. Let us sit down and reflect why the mosques are like this. I have the opportunity of attending conferences. They say imams have to wake up. The imams in the country, they are dying. They have to wake up. The hope of the nation lies on the imam. And I tell you, government relies so much on the religious people. We are the absorbers. We are the therapists. Every motor car they gallop. the cushion, whether the cushion are una beer, una patient. Now so good mark. Hey, Allah don't want to add him. In Allah, amurukum bil adli. Allah command everybody for be just inside your family. How they sell, how they buy, what insani. Let it be good to everybody. If be Muslim, you know be Muslim. When it ties in kurba, don't forget your kit and kingdom. You en hakum, in one unam, and in fashai. Well, this kind of wonderful message. These are the therapy medicine. Now for that, Allah called the Quran. Where God give to the prophet, where change the society, we need it today. He called the Quran Shifa Ulinas. He said a big pharmacy. But he said this pharmacy, what did they come in? The physical body, no, the target is the heart. The human being is nothing but a state of mind. If you can persuade him, he will do so many things. Evil people persuade the minds of the people and they cause atrocities.
All right, Imam, thank you very much. We not actually not get much time again, but we come to you, Mr. Abdul Rahman. Tell we now from the day we una take this issue to the ministry, una don't make any follow-up so far?
Yeah, we don't make follow-up.
What are the results from the ministry?
Well, as I say, the ministry give me some officers and no one call names. No. They don't go resurvey the land.
Okay.
And they just imagine land where they don't broke all the bakings then. With the eye-to-eye survey, say this is the place, this is the places, we will get 9.7 acres. So
we have already thief out.
No way we don't point out.
Okay. So
that automatically make the lands officer then agree say no, true, and the land is because you not all bakings not use. Now because now portion of land, now the road now pass we check and it can be 9.7 acres. Which means this is not true. And the GPS even indicates the areas that we're going to stream in the show. But the GPS is not stream. So they get no doubts in our land. Okay. But they get for go through procedures. Okay. So they need for come back, for come put baking. Then they for invite all the trespassers and encroachers. For them go and papers them. And then watch and papers them. Then they sit we down now. For let them know the way forward. But in between this time now, we are disturbed because we project around stock. Okay. This is a situation this now. Right. This one let them fast track so that we will continue this good local depa. Okay. You know, as I tell them, insan, as the doctor just tell you know what insan, not to free time no insan is all over Sierra Leone. You know they make noise because Islam then believe say we do things secretly, you get better reward than we make an open as if they show off, not to show off. So now that we always in the corner and that we don't know what we so we don't do big work and we do more. In Sand Foundation, I tell you my brother, now the only NGO we will enter na Kwendu in terms of Ebola for good help. Okay. The only NGO they talking back the whole nation they are in me. The only NGO where we enter, Kwendu, the term of Ebola, we go to the village where the first victim be affected. And we go give donation day. Anything happen in this country, inside already did it. But we know they go and make noise. This landslide, we supply under boku them. We supply blanket, things them for work. We supply food.
Needed items.
And they got under anything happened there, then sabi we. Okay. We can rest there and everything, but we not can go come and talk. But now they want to affect you. So please want all the authorities and for tell you one the encroachers and say, please, this land, now inside the land. So let not wasting time and resource for put on Panam.
Okay. All right. I think we actually for we get more time for this, but me for this other tell me to call me to attention. So with time don't as I said. But inshallah we will definitely get you. Check we might get you on Thursday back if we Allah permit. Let we educate people more on this day. Inshallah, we producer go work on that. And end of that time back we will get you frequently on various topics so we don't hit today for able to tailor properly. So this yeah we go end to this program. We don't dinner at the studio with Dr. Ibrahim Saliu Kamara, one of Chief Imam Team in the Central Mosque and also a senior lecturer in MMCET, and Mr. Abdul Rahman Abdul Karim Kouma, we Bangura sorry, one of the project director of project in Sand Foundation. Until next week, me don't be presenter Aruna Toure, me producer na Mohamed Saliuba, and me executive producer na Ambassador Anthony Junior Navo. Say salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.